we get into the lesson, I just wanted to say that I know we're all dealing with a lot right now with the coronavirus pandemic sweeping the world. As John Lennon once said, strange days indeed, most peculiar, mama. This is serious stuff, really scary stuff. Here in southeastern Pennsylvania, where I live, near Philadelphia, we've been on lockdown. Basically, everything's been closed for a couple of days now. Stores, bars, parks, schools. I've been ordered to work from home, which I've never had to do before in my life. So very, very scary times, very trying times for everybody. Lots of people are suffering out there. And if you're fortunate enough right now in your place of the world not to be affected by the virus, you're very lucky. But unfortunately, that's probably not going to last. It looks like this is going to be a true global pandemic, and it may well get worse before it gets better. But I know we're going to get through this. I'm confident, and we'll get through it together. I really thought a lot, long and hard, about posting any lessons during the pandemic. I didn't want to be insensitive or offensive to anybody. I know there's a lot of suffering. People are dying in the world right now over this virus. And I thought, is it appropriate to post silly love songs by Paul McCartney on YouTube? Is that really the right thing to do? But I thought, right now we've already lost a lot of things that give us pleasure. Going to the movies, going out to dinner, going to a bar, taking your kids to the park, going to any sporting events. Broadway's closed. The Kentucky Derby just closed. Everything pretty much is going to be closed. And we really need to find other ways to distract ourselves, I think. So I've determined, at least for myself, that posting these lessons, serves a purpose. Hopefully it will distract you from what's going on in the world and maybe give you a little joy, a little pleasure. It's certainly going to help me focus on something other than the pandemic, to learn these songs and record them and post them for you. So I'm going to try to post as many lessons as I can during this pandemic. I'm going to try to actually increase my output while I have a little more time at home, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can, and hopefully you're there with me for the ride. But again, if you're not interested in these lessons right now or ever, or you just think it's kind of rude to be posting these silly love song lessons, please don't watch. I understand. This is for the people who might get some distraction or some joy from them. So if you want to stay along, please continue to watch them, and I will be posting as many as I can. So let's get into the lesson. The song is Hosanna by Paul McCartney. It's off the new album. This was requested by a subscriber, so I appreciate that very much. Keep your requests coming in. I'll try to get to as many as I can. And I think it's kind of appropriate for what everybody's going through right now with such uncertainty. Hosanna kind of being a kind of prayer-like affirmation by Paul McCartney. So I thought it was a great song to post first during the pandemic. The guitar's in standard tuning. I do have a capo on the first fret. So if you want to play along to the record, please capo your guitar on the first fret if you want to use the voicings I'm going to give you here. I will say, I looked at many chord charts for this one. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. The chord charts are all over the place on this one. There are a lot of funky chords. So I'm just adapting this, as I always do, to my style, my ear, my abilities. So this is not a lesson on how exactly Paul McCartney played this song. It's a lesson on how I play Paul McCartney's song. I do think I'm keeping it pretty faithful to the record. It's certainly in the same tune as the record, just put a capo on the first fret. So use this as a foundation, as all my lessons, and play it your way, whatever works for you, whatever you like. Change it how you want to change it. Music is for you, not for anybody else. So do it the way it works for you. So here's my method of Hosanna on guitar. Again, capo on the first fret. It starts, I'm just going to play a D minor, just a D minor chord. There's some sort of keyboard or something going on there in the background. And then I'm going to add a little fingering on the fourth and third string. So something like this. And that's just the fourth and third string open, 4, 3, and then I'm adding on the third fret the fourth string, and then open on the third string. So just adding that one finger. Something like that, just as my adaptation of the introduction. Then we're going to go into the chords. So first chord, not positive this is the exact chord, but what I'm kind of hearing and what I love is a G9 chord, I believe it's called. So a G9 is very similar. It's a really beautiful chord. It sounds very similar to a G7. So a G7 would also work, so not much difference. And I'm sure everybody knows how to play a G7. You probably know a G9 too, but if you don't, it's the first on the first fret, first string, on the second fret, third string, and on the third fret, the top string, the G note. So everything else rings out open. So a G9, or at least what I call a G9, is that really, really sweet sounding chord. So I'm going to play that over the verses. So it sounds something like this. Come now, lady, don't you do me wrong. Then we're going to go to an F chord, however you want to play it, bar, open, and then to a C, to a B flat, and then a B flat, to a D minor, to a G, and then you repeat that, B flat, D minor, to a G chord. And then on the transition, if you want to go back to the G9, you can. And then the second verse just starts with the G9. Time is flying by us every day. Then an F. I want to show my love in C, B flat, D minor, G. This is all the same. And then B flat, D minor, G. And again, if you want to add the G9, you can. And now we're going to go to the, if you believe it, you can stay all night. So this goes to a D minor. So that's a D minor, to a G, to an A7. Just repeat that, D minor, to a G, A7. Then sing Hosanna in the morning sun. And the only difference there is the G goes to an A minor now, instead of the A7, so an A minor. So, morning sun, repeat, Hosanna, Hosanna. Back to D minor. Sing Hosanna in the morning sun, G, A minor, G, A minor, Hosanna. So that's it, folks. That's Hosanna by Paul McCartney from the new album. Again, I know we're going to get through this pandemic. I thank you so much for watching. I will try to get another lesson out as soon as I can. Take care, and I'll see you soon.